Yes, joining us this morning to look at the papers that we have is Honorable Bridget Obi. Honorable Bridget Obi is a public affairs analyst. Welcome to ABS.
Thank you, my dear.
All right, ma. We'll begin with ABS website, where the top stories this morning says minimum wage, governors hold emergency meeting today. AG Cabinet of ABS ordained the priests. 2019, INEC to take delivery of sensitive components of smart card readers first week of December. Let's begin with minimum wage. The November 6th date is beginning to approach very soon. What do you see? Do you think that with this meeting today, there will be a resolution to this crisis?
Well, I think it is very, very important that the nation and the leaders of our nation look at minimum wage as a right. In fact, it is overdue. It was Obasanjo that gave 18,000. Today, a bag of rice is 18,000. Not even minding any other thing. So our workers tend to be slaves in this country. So it's not, it's not negotiable. Let them give, even the 30,000 is nothing to talk about. But when you look at the economic situation of Nigeria, that's how we can say, at least let them shift. I think that it is overdue.
But looking at that same economy, that's where the presidency came and said, look, that 30,000 naira as minimum wage for civil servants are not feasible. Don't you see any, let me say, credibility from their own point of view?
I don't think so. Wages, salaries must be paid. If politicians carry so much to their homes, go to travels, we should be able to, even cut down from the take home of politicians and appointed individuals in governance to be able to, to give the worker the rights. They are the ones that are sustaining the economy. And if you are fighting the corruption, if you don't pay people's salaries, how can they actually not steal? So the minimum wage is also an avenue of making civil servants to continue not to be able to do what they should do. So that gives them bribe. You see the police, you see the army, you see everyone. I know that even that character, actually, it is quite difficult to start to unlearn actually what people have started to do. Taking bribe, taking anything, begging for 50 naira, begging for, it has become a norm. Let us actually straighten it once and for all. I think that 30,000 minimum wage is not anything we can actually say that it is not good.
Okay, still the newspaper headlines, and we are looking at stories from ABS website. We still have several newspapers to go with for this morning. Remember that this is a phone-in program. This is a discussion segment where you can call us in and air your views on the headlines that we're mentioning this morning. So when you call, tune down the volume of your TV set so that we'll not be hearing you and it will be re-echoing in the studio. Be part of the discussion this morning. Let's look at the next story that we have INEC to take delivery of sensitive components of smart card readers first week of December. Looking at the, election starts with several processes. Looking at all the deadlines that the INEC has brought and where they are now, do you think that commission is ready for this 2019 election?
Well, I believe that INEC 2019 election is not an emergency. It is something that we have looked up to. It is something that comes every 4 years. And are not minding some of the delays that has happened in the approvals and of their needs. I think that they ought to. It's not negotiable. They have to do everything to make sure that Nigerians get a credible, not just an election, a credible election, and the life of Nigeria depends on 2019.
So, but looking at the trends, do you feel that we are going to see a credible election in 2019? And if you don't, why?
No, I believe that INEC will make or mar this nation by 2019.
2019.
2019. If if for any reason they try to do magamago, the life of Nigerians is in their heads and their generations. Whoever that will do that. So what I believe is that they look at the issues of Nigeria today and they make sure that they give for anybody to have trust in Nigeria again, even the Nigerians themselves.
All right, that's a strong word.
They should actually be able to give us a credible, allow people to vote their leader so that we don't blame anybody for whatever that happens.
Okay, we'll go over to Delhi Sun now. Delhi Sun, this banner story there says, scores feared killed in fresh Shites army clash. Several others injured, vehicles destroyed. How I was smuggled out of Nigeria coming from Kano. A pub leader recounts experience under Operation Python Dance. That's beside the nameplate of the paper. We have Igbos who produce Senate president, says APC state scribe. Alleged graft, Fauci regains freedom. Obasanjo, IBB, Kalo, others pay tribute to Aneni family. Our patriarch is gone. Those are the major stories on the front page of the Daily Sun this morning. Still the stories, scores feared killed in fresh Shites army clash. This news has been trending since Sunday when members of a Shite movement engaged in a protest blocking the roads. Yeah. Why do you think this has continued?
Well, it is the same thing that we are saying. Nigeria is sitting on a keg of gunpowder right now. Because of maybe the attitude of government on previous killings. If justice are not done, people tend to take laws into their hands. This morning, when I saw these things, I had to call my daughter in Abuja. I wanted to know if she's well. She said yes, but she had to sleep in town because, of the outgoing of yesterday. I saw people's hands severed. I saw a lot of people that were, and the people that were actually are victims, they are not the ones that are protesting. They are innocent Nigerians that are going about their businesses, or some that are going to work. Some that are going for their businesses, stray bullets everywhere. I think, we are praying for Nigeria, but all the same, we Nigerians
this government continues to say we will protect rule of law and everything. But this man that they are protesting for his release has been ordered by court to be released. What's your assessment of this government?
But that government knows that it has to obey the rule of law. If you are saying you are fighting corruption, doing this, doing that, that's also corruption in the law. If you are not able to obey laws, it is all part of that corruption as well. And the continued delay of this leader of Dixet has continued to, to take innocent citizens. So I am appealing to government to release the leader. If the court says release, do that, because it is his right to be free. So all these, all these things are hitting the polity. Even in last week, it was just said, they were just saying it will happen. And yesterday we saw it. So Sunday we saw it happen. Yesterday, and those people are not going to give back. They are not like Christians who will just say, "Oh, God, Jesus, has preached peace." We should be able to know the antecedents of people. So I'm appealing that government should be able to look at that court rule and be able to release the leader. Because continually, we are moving into election. And if we are experiencing these things, it will gather momentum and it will spread. So let us give that 2019 election some peace and see how we manage the reaction of our people.
Okay, let's go over to Daily Times. The Daily Times front page is filled to capacity. Federal government's team governors meet over minimum wage. Federal government 36 governors differ on figure. Mind-boggling revelation. That's major story on top of the page of Daily Times. NNPC, oil firms yet to remit $22 billion, 481 billion naira to federal government's account. NNPC owes Federation account $19.04 billion, 424.56 billion naira. MPDC owes $2.38 billion, and 1.95 billion naira. 90 unremitted funds, part of unresolved remedial issues in 2010 to 2015 audio reports. Governments must punish perpetrators of human trafficking. 189 passengers die as Indonesia Lion Air flight crashes into sea. NHIS, you lack powers to suspend agencies, CEOs. Agency CEOs, SGF tells board members. Gridlock as security agents clash with child members in Abuja. The story of NNPC. We've seen this happen over again. Before Sanusi left, he raised concerns over remitting money, remittance at NNPC. And we're seeing this story still coming up again from the report of Naiti. How far are we going to continue with this?
I think that this government also has contributed so much to the escalating withholding of the fund, because NNPC, we don't have Minister for Petroleum.
Well, we do for Minister of State. We have
Minister of State, but we don't have substantive minister. It is under the presidency. And you know that Nigeria as a nation, the president is far more busy to look at the issues that are arising than focusing on the petroleum ministry, especially with his can you imagine when he was out of the country because of his ill health? Who was supervising? And because the junior minister is also a junior minister, he can never they cannot take a decisive decision on issues like that. So it's true that the tenure is coming to an end, but I will say that for that ministry needs a capable hand.
So how do we address this? We have over $22 billion.
It is a lot of money, but they have to. They are the ones that are fighting corruption. They should also beam their camera in the ministry and find out where the money is. Has another python taken it? Is it there? Where is it? So if that money must be somewhere. So I think that it is time, at a critical time, for what do they call it? This ICPC and EFCC to really go there and leave the politicians and go to the oil magnets and find out where this money, because the kind of money that you are talking there is.
We have a caller joining us this morning. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to Good Morning Anambra. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Yeah, my name is Engineer John Paul. I'm calling from Waka now.
Okay, Engineer John Paul from Waka. Go on.
Hello?
Go on. We can hear you.
Okay. What I'm trying to contribute, what I'm trying to speak this morning is that Nigeria and the Nigerians are wise.
Mr. John Paul, go on. Oh, he's off now. Okay, we go over to Punch newspaper. There are several stories this morning, so we'll be trying to pick as much as we could. Governors hold emergency meeting today over minimum wage. Federal government seeks common ground with states to stop November 6th strike. MTN Nigeria's listing delayed by CBN, AGF accusations, CEO. Obasanjo Yar'Adua Jonathan did nothing on infrastructure. Fayemi mourns as short Ekiti lawmaker dies in hospital. Boards have no power to suspend CEOs of parastatals. 189 die as Indonesian plane crashes into sea. Those are the major stories on the Punch newspaper this morning. The issue of boards having control over CEOs. Can you explain to us how these things work?
Well, the board of directors actually, if it is a private company, yes, they have a right. But if it is a public company, or if it is a company that is established by government, then because they were appointed by government, they don't have.
Is that what the law says?
Critically, I don't actually.
Now, okay, if that's the situation, let's take for example, that's what the law says. When you have a board in a government parastatal and they cannot sanction the CEO over character, over his character or the way he behaves, over not being transparent in government. What's the essence of the board? I thought the board is for oversight function over the management of a parastatal. Yes,
the board is, but also the board has to communicate. But if they if they took the right process, the process of investigating, and then they have to report also back to the people that appointed them for other decisions to be taken.
Okay, let's take this caller. Hello, we have a caller joining us. Hello.
John Paul calling here.
Okay, John Paul, please go on.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, go on. I know. Wow, John Paul.
What's going on?
All the Gabriel or service to join the discussion. Other people, our phone lines is right there on the screen of your TV, so you can join the discussion and make your contributions on the major stories trending this morning on ABS website and the papers that we have. Obasanjo Yaradua, Jonathan did nothing on infrastructure, Buhari.
Is it true? If we look at from 1999 to 2014, when this government took, it's even this government that I would say that we have not seen much they have done, because we know that most of the roads that were done by previous government is also deteriorating, and nothing for the southeast anyway. Because if you are talking, you talk from your own point of view. From southeast, where I am coming from, look at the Onitsha Owerri road. You know, it is the ones that the previous government, at least Peter Obi did when he did and was refunded by the federal government of Jonathan. That's the one we are enjoying. So, I don't think that it is a fair statement. Government or governance should be able to focus on what they have done. Let them tell us what they have done.
Yes, it might not be a fair statement, but the president might be coming from the angle that if these people have done enough, the people that left him have done enough, he could have exceeded, or his impact could have been seen. You know, when there are no, let me say, enough done by your past, you will be starting from the scratches, and maybe that's his angle.
I think that let us not forget that Nigeria by 1999 had long years of military rule, and from 1999 the processes of democracy were being nurtured. Do you understand? So it is whatever that has been done, you have to consolidate. It is continual. You know, leadership is about continuation. All you have to do is, like when Stella Odua was there, the infrastructure she started with the previous government on airports. They had, I think that this government came and inherited it, and then they finished it. So it is not about they didn't do. Even if it was feasibility that they did, feasibility is a way forward. Take it from the feasibility aspect and then start implementation. The railways that were done, there were things that were not concluded. This government came, concluded it, and the tracks has been put in use. Okay. So I think that everything is, you cannot begin anything. Even today or tomorrow, if the present government is no more there, nobody will say that they didn't do anything, because for 4 years, they were spending money and they were, telling us that they have done this, or that the only thing is that,
All right, thank you very much, Mrs. Honorable Bridget Obi, for joining us this morning on Good Morning Anambra newspaper headlines segment. Thank you for joining us, sharing your views and providing diverse opinions and expanded horizons to these issues.